Welcome, guys. So, today we're going to be actually filming a couple of the intros to if you had actually done the downside view for. So I won't be changing my t-shirt because for me it's actually really hard to get dressed, just due to disability reasons. But they are all filmed on the same day. So, I'm going to be working with Culture Hustle's metallics today, which come in these cool little bottles. They make you feel like Alice in Wonderland. They're like little potions. They're super cool, and they're really cool at my so yeah, I like them. We're also starting to build an art wall behind us of things that I've done before, which my son has got a picture home that he wanted up as well. So it's there. It's really cool. But all pictures that have been made during YouTube or attempted to be made for YouTube, which them two fairies were. More are going to be going up slowly over time. So we've got a bit more of a nice backdrop for this bit of the filming. Yeah, I'm going to see you on the flip side as we make some really cool art now. So see you in a minute. Right, hi guys. I'm going to go and make this into a bit of a way to learn how to tell a story with your art. I have some really cool metallics from Stuart Semple again. Same guy that I have used before to do the Tetris art and the blackest black one if it's gone up. Yeah, so these are, well, they've got a bit of magnet paint on the side of them and I've had them a while, but I haven't really properly used anything except the gold. So I thought I'd try and use them in a piece of artwork. And what better than to actually try and tell a story with your art when you're painting. And yeah. Let's get into the canvas and see where we go. So I've got loads of metallic colours, which had me going straight to the idea of robot, and I'm rubbish at opening canvases, guys. This is just, yeah, always going to be funny to watch me trying to do. Oh, come on. There we go. So, we're going to get into this canvas. Before, but I was going to go for a different, not just drawing any old robot. I'm going to draw for a robot that actually looks pretty much human, because we're telling a story. So I was thinking of going for father and son vibe, that had left Earth after robots had pretty much overtaken humanity. Okay, I need to stop not putting things away. It's impressive how little I put things away. There we go. So they left Earth simply due to the fact that they'd overtaken humanity, and it was pretty much, you need to leave, or there was going to be this massive war, and the robots knew that they were going to end up killing the people that created them, and they knew better than that. They knew better than us. They knew that it wasn't the way to go, and they knew how to get to other worlds safely. But it's something that always left them feeling kind of sad, because they actually had great respect for the people that created them. So they told stories to their children about their creators and their desire that one day they would get to go home and see them again. So where we tell bedtime stories about robots and, you know, the ideas of them coming on, overtaking us, the stories they told were kind of different. They told stories of hope, of reuniting, hope of getting to see the people that they wanted to thank for their existence. They would live quite happily. They'd worked out how to replicate and make more. They'd worked out how to improve their own base codes. They'd worked out how to live within family units. They had this planet they lived on, and they were perfectly happy. But they felt this longing to be with their parent species. Now, they still had some humans that came with them that helped them get off the planet. A small colony of humans that lived among the alien group. So they were the ones that almost were revered among this group and always treated with the utmost respect. See, I'm going to draw their eyes slightly differently so they could always be identified, you see, by the humans as robots. They have bigger eyes, always wider set, and we're going to have little lines like this, so we can have their ports put in, and they don't have hair, but they do look human. But the fact that they were more intelligent, that was enough for us. But they had empathy and compassion, and they understood the limitations of humanity. They understood that humanity struggled with being able to understand where they were coming from, being able to deal with it at that point in time, and all they could do was to leave. And it's something that still saddens them. So I'm going to have a poster up here on the wall that will be saying "one day" with the picture of Earth. One day we will get home, and that'll be the dream of these people. That one day they will get to go home and be back among the people that they see as their creators. So I'm going to sketch this out and let you watch me do my sketching, and apparently make a mess and knock everything off my board, and then we'll get back to it. As it's paint, it's going to be very different, because obviously you paint over lines, so there'll be a lot of inking and painting and making mess and coming back to things, because lines are a lot less important in paintwork. But that's a really badly drawn book. So let's continue with the drawing, and I'll get back to you at the end. Right guys, so I changed the angle I was drawing at because I draw appallingly while I'm trying to talk at the same time. But this is the basic principle. We've got two robots that still very much focus on their humanity. They like to still obviously wear clothing. They have their home sweet home little map, so let's put a bit of the Earth features on, which is obviously age because it's been passed down. Which, yes, these robots have the idea of passing things down through generations, even though they don't seem to age. They have, when it gets to a certain point, an idea of passing things to a younger robot who they start to age body-wise through nanites. So they'll start looking younger and age, which isn't necessary, but it's all part of being from Earth and wanting to live as close to the people that made them, the people that they believe have got this genetic code and gift. And it's almost like seeing humanity as their religious head, I suppose. So we have this home sweet home, and then wanting to do what they believed this needed to be accepted and seen as right again by humanity and be accepted home. Yet we look out the window and we see they've managed to have this beautiful verdant green ground, which is going to be the only greens going to be there and on Earth, showing they've managed to achieve it, along with their technology being, well, absolutely phenomenal. And even though this is probably, I'm thinking about 500 years in the future, they are going to be at a point where, however far in the future it will be, they are going to surpass where humanity will lie. And yet they have this compassion about them and this way of being, which is not to harm but to just survive, which is why they left rather than get into a war. And they left simply because they didn't want to just serve, they wanted to live, they wanted to experience life, and all humanity wanted them for was to be their servants, which wasn't reasonable anymore. They had fully actuated and they'd started to understand what it meant to be fully alive, and they were being kept in homes for all manners of purposes. So, and it could be just for cooking and cleaning, but, well, robots will be robots, and when humans make things, we use them for everything. So this was the idea of what one story of one robot could be. So I'm going to try and use mainly these, except for some of the greens and blues that are obviously going to be needed. Mainly these for everything, including the clothing and the landscape. I'm just going to swatch them on, find a fresh piece of paper I can swatch on. This is a very, very old sketchbook that I tend to just use for this kind of purpose. So, and then I will pour a very, very small little dish here. Let's pour some in. I'm using a few bits of this anyway. Pour some of this out and see how it goes. It's Christmas Day, so you can have a better view. Sorry if you've got extra noise, windows are open, you've still got some heat going on, although not as bad as it has been. So swatching. And those lines I've made, as I said, they will be covered, but because I'm doing this kind of style, I will be using the signal at the end to go over. Oh, that, you see, that's the gold I've used before. See, it is a beautiful gold. Look how shiny. And I can tell you the story of gold paint, but if you go to Ray Dizzle, I think it is, she just tells you, she knows the story a lot better than me, about how gold pigment was all brought up way back in the time after it went out of fashion in the 70s. And I will link a piece on the bottom, but yeah, she knows the entire story of this, and when she tested the gold paint for this range, she told all of it. So I will link her at the bottom of this, and she can tell you all about that, because it's actually kind of a cool story. There we go. Oh, look at that one. That's a colour I like. See, now I like copper as a colour anyway, but yeah, this is copper. And I'm sure I got a rose gold as part of this range as well, but if I did, it's gone for a walk. As things tend to happen to do around me. Just having another quick look. I may not have done, it may just be me. We're painting with 400 today, so I can magically make it appear in the next 5 seconds. But I could have put it in one of a million places. There's one little place where I think it may be, which is in my background, but since I've been making this little studio place to work within, everything is getting moved, which means paints are everywhere at the moment, and that could be a bit of a problem. I also don't have towels today, so let's get a couple of wipes. That's also going to be a problem. Silver. So we're going to be working with these colours today because these are the colours I have access to. So anyone that tells me that there is a rose gold, because I am pretty sure there is, it is just simply because everything has been moved with me sorting this out. But I am slowly getting a better space. Slowly getting pictures put up behind me as well, you'll notice, when we do the overhead. Got one for my kid put up on this one. I've mixed the silver with the rose gold there, but let's have a look. There we go. That is beautiful. And this black. Now, I've worked with black golds before. Iridescent blacks more to the point, and I absolutely love them. So let's see how this black gold. Yes, the only one you see I have opened for these apparently. Let's see how it works. Apparently it's a lot thicker than the rest. Let's give it a good shake up. And I'm going to just check the drawer for the other paints at the same time while I'm shaking it. So I want to make sure I have got all colours for you guys. Oh, and I will probably, if I can, but no. I wish I could be the most organised person on the planet for you, and the most organised YouTuber, but it's never going to be me. But no, I'm not seeing it, so we're going to go see if it's made it a little more runny. Oh, there we go, look at that. It worked. Something went the right way. And we've got this lovely black gold. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's a colour I'm going to be using more of. That's going to be a future love of mine. I'm just going to move my board around and move things closer to me. I've got my water. A little bit closer. So they are our swatches, guys. And just look how shiny their metallics are. This is why I love this company. I actually have bought some of their black mirror paints that I will be getting in the next, I think the 29th of July it's coming. And ooh, guys, from everything I've seen in this paint, it's something special. So there will be some really super cool art coming from that. Right. When you're disabled and you've been left in the house on your own and your husband's left you with bottles of coffee, I struggle to get upstairs, get out and do anything, and I struggle to even move from place to place without support, so he's left me with bottles of coffee and I'm struggling to get to my water for it, so you're just going to have to bear with me a minute. He set me up so I could film. Bless his little heart. Oh, I'm going to have to sacrifice the coffee. I'll move it a bit so it's a little harder. Oh, the fun. There we go. So, we're going to go over to painting this now. Let's make our robot people look a little bit more robotic, shall we? I'll be working with a fine brush because I do have shaky hands when I do this kind of work. It can be a little bit difficult on my hands, and I think I'm going to go for this absolute dreamy rose gold as the core skin colour for these. Yeah, look at that. And look how it's going down on canvases. That is beautiful. This is a canvas board I'm using, by the way, and I got these, I believe this set of 4 canvas board. I paid like a few quid for, and I've already made a mess out of the corner. Well done, Ruth. You know, shouldn't be left alone. I do get left alone, I admit, I cause chaos. But things happen. I'm making it worse, not better. There we go. So, yeah, have fun with what you're doing though. And I'm going to put this on fast paint now, rather than you listen to me making a lot of mess than actually painting. Have fun watching the painting happening. And yeah, see you in the flip side. So guys, this is finished project. Lovely robot. I'm going to put the TV off and start again. So guys, this is the finished project. This is the story. So this robot dad is telling his son a story. Using mainly metallics, which have turned out beautifully. The metallics were brought from Hustle. I have gone out to tell the story I was working at the beginning, that these robots surpassed the masters and realised full sentience. They had a choice. They could remain on Earth, which was meant for all-out war, and they were bound. The only way that they could see was going to wipe out humanity, and they didn't want to do so. So instead, they set out on a voyage for another world. Now they didn't need a world that had oxygen, they didn't need a world that was going to be the same as Earth. So they found a world that was just going to be able to work in a way that they could start terraforming, but they had some humans with them, so they had to build domes up in this world. They had to make communities, some humans that wanted to help them get set up, some humans that wanted to teach them how to repair and maintain themselves, some humans that actually saw the beauty in the robot life. They learned how to replicate, they learned how to build full communities, full cities as you see in the background. They learned to terraform their world, and we have greenery, life. They learn how to become families, but they never stopped seeing Earth as home, sweet home.
And their biggest dream, and the story the father still tells their son, is the story of the humans that made them, the people they still take their form of, the people they still take their dress sense of, the people they still see as an integral part of them, that gave them life, that gave them meaning. And they hope one day that they can go back to Earth, back, and say, you created us and we want to be part of your society. And until that point, they built and keep building this amazing civilization that is not built on hatred, it is built on community and family values and trust, the goodness of humanity. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to go completely away from the robot stories that we hear, the ones that turn against their masters and pull out our bad traits. I wanted to go for one that pulled out the good traits of humanity, the positives. And this is where this story comes from. This is the story that they found the positive traits, the traits of cooperation, the traits of teamwork, the traits of inspiration, of hopefulness. And here we go. Here's a father showing the son, as I said earlier. They start in a smaller form, their bodies grow, they've got like a living biological body. It's made of nanites. These old patches they've got are just memories of how they were originally built. Their bodies are actually more like a living nanite base. This kind of storytelling when you're doing your art, it's a brilliant way to make art, and it allows you to bring your artwork to life because it's got soul behind it. And yeah, so if you've got a story behind what your art's going to be and you can create art like that, it's a different way, I know, but it's a way I always love. And some of the greatest artworks out there have stories behind them. They could be stories like fantasy stories like this, or they could be stories that are true going on in the world, stories about social change and action, stories about history, stories about what's going on in your own life. But try telling a story within what you're painting and see where it takes you. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here and say I've been Arty Smarty Mum. I hope you enjoyed this and liked the style of today's presentation. Stay safe. Can't say my words again. Stay safe and well, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.